Hello grade 12, today's topic is economics paper 1, which is November question paper 2023. Obviously it's a grade 12 question paper. So guys, I'm going to be answering these questions as we usually say. Before I answer, you need to answer for yourself first. For example, you need to pause the video and answer for yourself first, and then you will listen to my answers after. And if you want explanations and everything, I'll leave the link in the description. And if you want to know how to get a distinction in economics, I'll leave the link in the description. Okay guys, let's start. Section A, question 1. Various options are provided as possible answers to the following question. Choose the answer and write only the letter A or D next to the question numbers. Okay. I'm just going to be as quick as possible, guys, so that I wouldn't waste any of your time. 1.1.1. A deliberate action by the government to increase the value of the currency is known as a revaluation. 1.1.2. Business cycles that last from 7 to 11 years. 7 to 11 years. 7 to 11 years. Caused by changes in net investment. I'm sure by now you know, guys, what are we talking about? What is this one? This one is C, which is juggler. 1.1.3. The relationship between the tax rate and the tax revenue for the government is illustrated by the curve. Tax revenue, guys. Tax revenue. What are we talking about? A relationship between the tax rate and the tax revenue. What are we talking about? This is the Laffer curve. Everyone got this one right. 1.1.4. If the value of the marginal propensity to consume MPC is 0.6, the value of the marginal propensity to save MPS will be 0.4. 1.1.5. A limit on the quality of goods and services that can be purchased from the other countries is known as import, which is which one? Which one is this one? It's the quota import. It's quota, import quota. 1.1.6. A growth and development strategy that was intended to halve unemployment and poverty by 2014 was known as what? Which is B, accelerated and shared growth initiative for South Africa. 1.1.7. The government's broad approach to industrialization to set out in the what is this one, guys? This one is D, which is National Industrial Policy Framework. Guys, by the way, I will show the answers on the screen after I'm done answering some questions. 1.1.8. The increase in population of cities and towns through the movement of people from rural areas is known as which one is this one? They move from rural areas. They move. As it says, the increase in population of cities and towns through the movement of people from rural areas is known as. That simply means people from rural areas move to town, move to cities. Obviously, cities and towns. Which one is this one? It's urbanization, which is C. You gotta read the questions carefully so that you may understand, guys. So guys, now we are going to 1.2. Obviously, we know what it says. Choose a description from column B that matches the item in column A. Write only the letter A or I next to the question numbers. Okay, guys. 1.2.1. Autonomous consumption, guys, not consumption, consumption. Which one is this one? This one is H. Part of household spending that is independent of the level of income. 1.2.2. Monetarist approach. Which one is this one? I hope you guys you pause the video and try to answer for yourself first. It's G. Maintain the view that markets are inherently stable. 1.2.3. Accountability. Everyone will get this one right, which is F. The requirement to give an explanation of one's own decisions and actions. This one is F. 1.2.4. Debt forgiveness is B. When an organization or a country is released from its obligation to repay a loan. 1.2.5, which is economic union. C. Cooperation between countries to adopt common monetary
and fiscal policies. 1.2.6, which is capital formation, not information, capital formation. It's I, the process of adding new assets such as machinery and equipment to the existing stock. 1.2.7, this one is national research and development strategy. This one is D, focuses on using science and technology to promote industrialization. 1.2.8, consumer price index. This one is A, an economic indicator that relates to the cost of living. This one, every one of us got it right, obviously. Consumer index or consumer price index, everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. So this question paper is not that easy, but I will say it's good. It's good for you guys. All right. Now we are going to 1.3. I hope you guys just pause the video and try to answer for yourself first. We are going to 1.3 now. Okay. 1.3, give one term for each of the following descriptions. Write only the term next to the question numbers. 1.3.1, 1.3.6 in the answer book. Abbreviation, acronyms, and examples will not be accepted. Okay. 1.3.1, the withdrawal of money from the circular flow. The withdrawal of money from the circular flow. Which one is this one? What is this one, guys? I know every one of you know this one. What is this one? This is linkages. Linkages. 1.3.2, a summary of various indicators of the same type into a single value. This is a composite indicator. 1.3.3, the exchange rate is determined by market forces with interventions. Not interventions, guys. Intervention by the central bank. Intervention by the central bank. Which one is this one? This one is managed floating. Managed floating. It's where the bank intervenes. 1.3.4, the increase in the capacity of the economy to produce more goods and services. The increase in the capacity of economy to produce more goods and services. Which one is this one? Which one is this one? It's not GDP, guys. It's economic growth. 1.3.5, the processing of natural resources into finished products. The processing of natural resources. You are turning a natural resource into a finished product. Which one is this one? Which one is manufacturing? 1.3.6, the lowest interest rate charged by commercial banks to their best clients. Which one is this one? Lowest interest rate. This one is prime rate. So guys, this is it. We are done with section A. Now we are going to section B, which we all know what we do in section B. You have to choose. Alright guys, as you can see, section B is answer any two of the three questions in this section in the answer book. So you have to choose two questions only. There's question 2, 3, 4. So you have to choose question. You have to choose two questions only. So I'm gonna choose question 2 and 3 only. Okay guys, I hope you're going to learn from this thing, because not only are you practicing right now, you are learning the correct answers. And if you want to download the question paper, there's a link in the description. This is the website that I use. It's a good website, so you can just download the question papers there. It's a quality website according to my opinion. So let's go and say question 2. 2.1, answer the following questions. Guys, I will show the answers on the screen. Don't worry. And try to answer for yourself first. Pause the video and try to answer for yourself first. And think. Think, guys. Think. So let's go. Name any two factors of production. Labor, capital. 2.1.2. Why is the inflation rate high during the prosperity phase of a business cycle? This one is demand is very high in relation to the supply of goods and services, which results in higher prices.
2.2, study the graph below and answer the questions that follow. You can just look at the graph, guys. Pause the video and look at the graph. Okay. We are going to 2.2.1. Identify the year in which South Africa recorded the highest value of exports, 2021. 2.2.2, name the account in the balance of payment, which is BOP, that records the portfolio investment financial account. Remember, guys, these things are important because as you are going to write your question paper, I don't care which year are you writing the question paper or which year are you watching this video. These things might appear maybe on section A, maybe again on section B. So you have to memorize them. That when we talk about the BOP, the name of the account in the balance of payment that records the portfolio investment, we are talking about the financial account. You have to memorize these simple things. You cannot miss out on these simple things, guys. Especially if you want a distinction. 2.2.3, briefly describe the term trade balance. Okay, what is trade balance? The difference between the visible or tangible exports and visible tangible imports. It is calculated as merchandise exports plus net gold exports minus merchandise imports. So, guys, if you have any question, feel free to ask. If you have any question, you can ask on the comments. I've explained the topics a lot. That this is why when I'm doing this type of video, I don't tend to explain something and say, okay, guys, the BOP is this, the BOP does this and this and this and this, because I've done videos reading out explanation. I've done a lot of videos. So if you have any question, you can just ask. I can try to answer, or I can give you a video if your question requires me to answer long or something like that. Okay, guys, let's go back to the topic. 2.2.4, explain the impact of electricity shortages on export volumes in South Africa. Okay, export volumes will decrease as production of goods and services is disrupted during the power cuts. Some businesses may decide to disinvest or pull out of the economy, leading to less businesses producing goods and services, and export will decrease. Okay, guys. Now we are going to let me do it like this. 2.2.5. How can the South African Reserve Bank reduce balance of payment deficit? How can they do that? The South African Reserve Bank may increase the repo rate to discourage consumer spending, including on import, which will increase the balance of current account. An increase in the repo rate attracts capital inflow as foreign investors take advantage of higher interest rate in the country, which will increase the balance of financial account. Okay. You see, guys, this question is extremely easy. I mean, not this question. In fact, this question paper, it's extremely easy, especially if you have studied. If you have studied and used the previous question papers and practice using the previous question papers, actually, things will be easier. But if you don't practice using previous question papers, obviously things will be difficult for you. Okay, guys, let's go back to the business. Okay. 2.3. Study the table below and answer the questions that follow. You can look at the table, guys. Pause the video. 2.3.1. Identify in the table above the method used to calculate the gross domestic product, which is the GDP. This is income method. 2.3.2. Give one example of taxes on products. Taxes on products. This is VAT. We can say VAT, which is a VAT, VAT. 2.3.3, briefly describe the term subsidy on production. Subsidy on production. So if you know the definition of subsidy, you already know what we're talking about now. Financial assistance or support by the government to reduce cost of production or encourage production of certain products or influence remuneration of the factors of production. 2.3.4, why is it important for the country to prepare national account aggregate? Why? To determine the level of economic activity by measuring the value of the real GDP in the country. To measure the economic growth by comparing the real GDP figures for the current period with the previous. Okay. Guys, we are going to 2.3.5. Calculate the gross value added, which is GVA at basic price, which is A,
in the table above, show all calculation. You can look at the table, guys. You can see this is the table. These are the things you need to calculate. You can pause the video. Pause the video and try to calculate for yourself first. So I'll pause the video. So I'm back, guys. I paused the video, but you didn't see. So, okay. GVA at the basic price is going to be 5,453 plus 132 minus 12, which is equals to 5,573. This is a billion, by the way, guys. The billion. Now we are going to another one, which is briefly discuss specialization and mass production as effects of international trade. Okay. Effects of international trade. Specialization. Specialization increases the standard of living, and especially when the area of specialization is a great demand due to the shortage of supply. Angola is the oil deposit so it can specialize in oil production, while Mozambique has no oil deposit and cannot specialize in oil. There are other answers on the screen. You will see them. Mass production. Mass production becomes possible if the foreign demand is added to domestic demand. Large scale production results in employment or of more domestic factors of production, which improves the standard of living. Okay. I can read more, which is mass production promotes economies of scale as the unit cost of production decreases, which allows consumers to pay lower prices. Okay, guys. I'm done. You can see the other answers on the screen. Okay. Now we are going to 2.5. How can business cycles influence the use of fiscal policy in the economy? Okay. How can? During a downswing or fiscal changes may be influenced as follows. During the downswing, guys, the government implements expansionary fiscal policies to stimulate economic activity and avoid high unemployment. Personal income tax rates may be reduced to increase households and disposal income and stimulate consumer spending. Okay. During an upswing, fiscal policy changes may be influenced as follows. During the prosperity phase, the government implements restrictive fiscal policy to deepen the economy and avoid high inflation. Personal income tax rates may increase to reduce households and disposable income, thereby reducing excess demand. Okay, guys, there are other answers on the screen. You will see them. Now we are going to question 3, guys, which is economic pursuits. Economic pursuits. Okay, guys, I need you guys to focus. Please, guys, you need to listen carefully so that you may benefit and try to answer for yourself first. So I would advise you guys, after you're done watching this video, you may go maybe download the question paper and try to write it for yourself first. Try to write it for yourself without looking at the video and anything. Try to write it for yourself again after watching this video and see how well are you doing. And then you go and rewatch the video again and look at the answers. So, and you can also download the memo if you want. So, guys, question 3.1. Answer the following questions. 3.1.1. Give any 2 examples of basic services provided by the government. Electricity, water supply. Obviously, if you got this one wrong, guys, just pause the video and go study. You can't get this one wrong. You cannot get this one wrong. It's impossible. It's impossible, guys. 3.1.2. How can the Integrated Manufacturing Strategy, which is IMS, promote industrialization in South Africa? How can? IMS focuses on improving the competitiveness of manufacturing businesses by improving infrastructural services such as energy, communication, and transport. The strategy aims to improve the cross-cutting issues by examining a range of factors such as technology, innovation, and human resources. Okay, these are all. You'll see others on the screen. Study the cartoon below and answer the questions that follow. This is 3.2. You can see the cartoon. 3.2.1. Identify the redress policy that aims to eliminate unfair discrimination in South African workplace. This is Employment Equity Act. Employment Equity Act. 3.2.2. Name one measure used to improve the efficiency of markets. This is deregulation or competition. 3.2.3. briefly describe the term economic development, the improvement in the standard of living for a country's population over the period of time. 3.2.4, how can the government use taxation to promote business efficiency? Okay. They reduce corporate income tax to increase the profit prospects of businesses, which will encourage them to invest in more efficient production techniques. The government may provide tax exemptions to newly established businesses, which will reduce their operational cost, helping them to expand and become more competitive. Okay. 3.2.5, guys. Okay. Explain the challenges in the implementation of broad-based Black economic empowerment, which is triple BEE. Okay, some Black-owned businesses do not have enough capital to implement big projects, limiting their ability to secure contracts, especially from the government. Cooperation in form of bribes and nepotism results in few people benefiting from Black economic empowerment. This one is actually logical, guys. It's actually logical. It's actually logical. Okay, 3.3. Study the extract below and answer the questions that follow. You can study the extract, guys. Please pause the video and study the extract. 3.3.1. Identify one benefit of foreign direct investment to the economy. Job creation. 3.3.2. Name the financial incentive provided by the government to attract new foreign investments in South Africa. Foreign Investment Grant, which is FIG. 3.3.3 briefly describe the term industrial development, the implementation of the policies to promote establishment of new industries and expansion of existing industries. 3.3.4 why is manufacturing sector important to the economy? Why? The manufacturing sector is labor intensive, which helps the economy to create many job opportunities and reduce unemployment. Okay, guys, this is why manufacturing sector is important to the economy. Okay. Now we are going to 3.5. Not 3.5, guys. Actually, it's 3.3.5. Explain the factors that may influence the success of industrial development zones, which is IDZ in South Africa, negatively. Okay. Uh, Politically and industrial and social instability, such as industrial actions and community protests, may create a negative sentiment towards South Africa, thereby reducing investors' confidence. Electricity shortage disrupt production through the nationwide power cut, load shedding, which may discourage potential investment in industrial development zones. Okay. 3.4. Briefly discuss the terms of trade and the exchange rate of economic indicators related to foreign trade. Okay, terms of trade. Term of trade, which is TOT, measures the ratio of export price index for import price index. Changes in the terms of trade serve as an indicator of changes that may cause spillover effects on balance of payment and the value of local currency. Okay. Exchange rate. Exchange rate measures to the value of the country's currency in terms of another currency. That's an exchange rate. Most countries have numerous exchange rates, which means that the rand may depreciate against the US dollar but appreciate against the Chinese yuan. Okay. Other answers are on the screen, guys. 3.5. Analyze the impact of low economic growth on the South African economy. Okay, analyze. Low economic growth has the following impact on the South African economy. South Africa's unemployment rate will increase due to the decrease in production of goods and services. Household income levels will decrease, resulting in lower consumer spending and savings. The economy will fail to attract direct investments, which contributes to less employment opportunities. Export earnings will decrease, contributing to the depreciation of the local currency and decrease in trade balance. Other answers are on the screen. Okay, guys. Now we are going to section C, guys. Let's go straight to section C and choose. Section C, guys. Section C, guys. Okay. Section C is the essay. Every one of us know what is an essay, and we know what we are supposed to do when we are writing an essay.
So guys, I've paused the video and I've chosen the essay, which is I've chosen question 5. Discuss in detail the main objectives of the public sector in the economy, evaluate the impact of privatization of state-owned enterprises, styles on the South African economy. So yeah, if you want to know how you write an essay, this is also a part to watch. Introduction. Public sector is the part of the economy that is made up of all entities that are owned and controlled by the government. Microeconomics objectives are the goals and targets that the public sector wants to achieve for the whole economy. Okay, now we are going to the body, which is economic growth. Economic growth is the increase in the production of goods and services by the economy. Economic growth is the increase in the capacity of the economy to produce more goods and services. It is measured in terms of increase in the real gross domestic product, which is GDP. Economic development occurs when the economic growth rate is higher than the population growth. A high economic growth rate means there will be fewer people who are dependent on the state to satisfy their basic needs. For economic growth, not economic growth, guys, for economic development to occur, economic growth rate should exceed the population growth rate. Okay, guys, I've given 4. You'll see others on the screen. Full employment. The objectives, not objective, the objective of the government is to ensure that all persons who are willing to work and looking for work should be able to find work or create work for themselves. Informal sector activities must be promoted because they have the potential to increase employment. GEAR was implemented to create a positive climate that was conducive or not conducive. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the word correct, guys. Conducive, or I'm not sure it's correct. To employment creation by the private sector. If you got it right, you can just say on the comment, because I know many of you guys are extremely intelligent. You guys are more intelligent than me, so you may help me here. The government accelerates employment creation through direct employment schemes, targeted subsidies, and expansionary macroeconomic policies. Labor-intensive activities in the agricultural and light manufacturing sectors are also used to create employment. Okay. Exchange rate stability, balance of payment, equilibrium. Exchange rate stability occurs when the exchange rate remains stable so as to reduce uncertainty in foreign trade. Depreciation and appreciation of a currency create uncertainties for investors, producers, and traders. Volatile exchange rate causes the price of imports exports to be erratic, which could cause balance of payment disequilibrium. Not disequilibrium, disequilibria. Exchange rate stability helps to control the inflation rate and achieve high economic growth. Other answers on the screen. Price stability. Price stability occurs when the general price of goods and services remains relatively constant over time. When prices are stable and inflation is low, markets can function optimally and the government can promote economic growth and development more effectively. In South Africa, relative price stability means that inflation rate remains within the inflation target, which is 3 to 6%. Interest rates based on the repo rate are main instrument used to achieve price stability. This one is economic equity. Economic equity exists when the resources of a country are fairly distributed amongst population. A redistribution of income and wealth is essential in the market economies. The government must intervene because there are sections of society that earn large amount of money while others earn very little. South Africa uses the progressive income tax system where higher income earners pay a higher tax rate than lower income earners. Additional part. Okay. Additional part, privatization and state-owned enterprises, which is parastatals, may impact positively on South African economy as follows. Okay. The efficiency in service delivery will improve as privately owned businesses will provide better quality services due to profit motives. The government may raise extra income from the sales of public assets, which will help to finance strategic public projects such as infrastructure development. The tax base will expand, which will allow government to raise more tax revenue to address other socio-economic issues. Okay, this one, it may impact negatively. Uh, we are going down. Goods and services will become more expensive due to profit motive and lack of public interest in the private sector. Consumers may pay higher prices for essential services, which may increase the cost of living. Other businesses may incur higher cost of production as pay more for key input services, which may contribute to cost push inflation. Other answers are on the screen. Conclusion: it is very important that the state improves its functioning from time to time to avoid economic stabilities so as to bring about desired development. So, guys, this is it. I wanted to make this video to be short because imagine if I explain everything here. If I explain everything, the video will be 2 hours long, and I might take almost like 3 days to make the video, or 2 days. So, guys, by the way, you need to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, ask questions on the comments so that I may answer you before you write your exams. This is one of the reasons why I release my videos early. And I know many of you like to watch my videos in the morning when you're about to write the exam, or late at night when you're about to write the exams. Guys, please stop what you're doing. But if you are watching right now, good luck. Go watch another video where not explain, where I explain the topics, and go watch a video where I give you guys tips, study tips, how to get a distinction in economics. Link in the description. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.